Welcome to the City Center Podcast. I'm Jerry Marcello. Hurricane season is here. What do you need to do to get your home and lawn ready? We'll talk about that next on the City Center Podcast from West Palm Beach. And joining us today is Leon Pinder, who is Director of Public Works here for the City of West Palm Beach. Leon, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
One of the things that everyone says is that the proper way to get ready for a hurricane, the key thing for getting ready for hurricane season is preparation. And you guys are working very hard to prepare for hurricane season. Is that right?
Yes. Right now, our whole department is working extremely hard. We have Vegetation Amnesty Days started today. Let's go into that. What exactly is that? Vegetation Amnesty Days is where we give homeowners and residents the opportunity to cut back vegetation at their residence, unlimited amount, as long as vegetation only, put out in front of their residence, and then the city will pick it up at no additional charge.
Okay, so the idea is to basically trim down the vegetation that's around your house. Why is that important during hurricane season?
Yeah, so what the reason it's so important is so that it gives the residents the ability to try and be proactive before hurricane season come and cut down and cut back as much as vegetation as they can, so that if we have a hurricane, then perhaps we won't have as much, and if we do have some, it'll still be less than we would have had, and also hopefully to prevent tearing down power lines and stuff like that.
Right. So the idea is to get rid of stuff that can get airborne, that can knock into power lines, take out windows, do that kind of sort of damage. Limit it now. Take it out now before we get towards a storm. I would assume the case is that if we've got a storm coming, that's not the time to do this.
No. Once a hurricane or a storm is named out there, then you have to cease and desist from cutting out any debris and putting it out to the curb, because we may not be able to get to it in a timely manner, and then it becomes like missiles or projectiles going to someone's resident and doing some damage.
Now, just to make a point of caution here, if you have a beautiful tree, you don't want to necessarily cut everything off the tree, right? You just want to trim just the heavy stuff.
Correct. You just want to prune the tree back. You don't want to hack rack the tree or whatever like that, or because you could then damage the tree and could cause it to die. So You just want to trim the tree back. If you have a program where you're trimming the trees back on a year-round or a yearly basis, that's what we're just asking you to do right now.
Okay, so the idea is, as I'm cleaning up, I'm going to create a single pile. Okay, so get a pile together. I'm going to bag. Am I bagging all the grass clippings? How exactly do I prepare this for you guys to take it away?
So as much as the grass clippings as you can, you want to bag those up to make it easier so it's not going down the storm drain. Any leaves and large trees, then you cannot bag. Then you just put them out to the curb. One of the things I tell people is that, hey, if you have bags, put the bags on the bottom and put the larger branches on top, so that if there's a rain event or whatever, you're not washing down all the leaves down the storm drains.
And that's the whole point. One of the things you're trying to do is to keep those storm drains clear of a lot of extra material that would normally wash into it during a storm.
Yes, correct.
Exactly. Okay, so when I do trim my big trees, I'm cutting down some of these trees, do I just leave the big 10-foot long tree branches out there for you, or what?
No, you want to cut it into 4x4 sizes and no more than 2 inches in diameter, so that it's manageable for us to pick up. If you leave it in 10-foot long sections, yes, we could probably pick it up, but then in our while we're picking it up, we could cause some damage, or it may fall out of the bucket or something like that. So we ask you to put it in manageable sizes, so when the grapple truck comes to pick it up, we're able to pick it up really quickly without causing any damage.
All right. So the entire idea behind Vegetation Amnesty Days, which runs from the 28th of April through May 9th this year, is a time for people to sort of prep their lawn, start preparing for the hurricane season. What is the city doing to prepare for hurricane season?
Well, we're getting ready to do our annual hurricane event drill on May 15th, where it's multiple city departments working together, and we have different scenarios each year just to make sure that we're prepared for hurricane season. This year we plan to go all out to make sure that our teams are ready, our equipment is ready, so that if we should have an event, that we're ready to take it on head on and get the city cleaned up as quickly as possible.
Now, I've been to a couple of these. They're pretty amazing. If I recall, I would assume this year would be the same. There's some areas up near Northwood where you do the event. Is that happening this year?
Yes, same location this year.
The amount of realism is amazing, to the point that we have wrecked cars, we have material strewn all over the roads, really mimicking what would it look like if there is a full-on major storm in the area. And that actually includes play acting. Is that the case?
Yes. So, each year we, like I said, we do different things. So this year we're looking to have reenact a sewer spill, where we're going to use the utility vac truck, where we're going to act as power lines are down. There's going to be some cars that could have gotten thrown out. We're going to have some actors. We're going to have as if there are people trapped in cars. So it's going to be a real event that it really looks real, and we're going to have fire come in and do a extrication of individuals that could be trapped in cars. So we're looking forward to it this year. So
really, this is an opportunity for your staff to really take on, like they've done this before, even though they may not have. They will be able to sort of live through all the stress, all the damage, all the worried residents that they would normally see during a hurricane. They'll be able to experience a little taste of that during this event.
Yes, and you can never be too prepared, right? So we have new people that are on the team. So some people, it'll be their first time. Right after this event take place, we give them real-time feedback and things that we could do better, things we can improve on, things that they've seen that that they didn't think that was going to happen, and how they reacted to them as well. Public Works is one of those departments where, if I may speak so obviously here, that when you guys do your job, you guys are almost invisible. You guys, when you guys are working hard and doing the job that the city needs you to do, you're not a high profile. You don't have flashing lights on your equipment. You're not like, police or fire. But what you do during a hurricane is as important to keep the city running, to get those streets clear, to make it so that first responders can get to where they're going. You're right out there along with them during a hurricane response. Yes, and what I always tell people is that we're all one family at the city of West Palm Beach, and the biggest thing of it is that fire can't do their job if we don't do our job. Police can't do their job if we don't do our job. So we have to work hand in hand to be able to clear the streets, open the roads back up, make it safe so fire rescue, the police can get in the streets to be able to do their job, to answer calls, to assist residents, customers of the city of West Palm Beach. So it's very important that we work together. It's important that we work with our parks department, our utilities department. At that point, we're all one big family, and we're working together for the same effort. And you guys don't go home and lock up during a hurricane. You're on call. You're on the job. Yeah. So during hurricane season, a lot of our teams, we have different cut teams, and so some of those individuals will ride the storm out here at a city facility or other locations during that. So we're not home hunkered down with our families. Many of us are before the hurricane, during the hurricane, and after the hurricane are still here at a city facility somewhere, just working from sun up to sundown to get the job done and get the city back in operation. So it's really clear that you guys are completely focused on the seriousness of any tropical storm in the area. So, but what message would you have for residents to make sure that they're ready and prepared for a storm? Well, right now I would just tell people, hey, make sure you have a hurricane plan first, right? Make sure your hurricane plan is updated. Make sure your family know what your hurricane plan is. And then make sure when it's time, if you need to execute that plan, you execute it as intended. Sometimes you may plan things, something happen, and they don't always work out the way you envision them. Right. But have a backup plan, because it's like many of the hurricanes and fires that took place, people didn't realize that they were going to lose everything. Yeah. And they had moments notice to leave and pack up. So, make sure you have your things in a safe location. Make sure maybe you have a safe or something that if it gets burned, if it started a fire, or if it's water, that your most important valuables are protected.
Very good. And beyond that too, beyond just taking care of your lawn and making sure that it's properly groomed for hurricane season, you want to make sure that if you have any loose items, right, like patio furniture and stuff, put that someplace where it's not going to be affected by those high winds.
Yes, I would say, like, if you have patio furniture, the moment that you think that something is coming, go ahead and try and put that in your garage if you can, store it if you need to put chains around it or whatever you can, just to make sure that they don't become projectiles.
Leon, one of the questions that comes up often as we're approaching a storm is, how long can I be still putting my trash out? How long is the service going to continue as a storm is approaching? That's really per storm, right?
Right. And we try and do, I think we do a very good job of communicating to customers and residents in terms of the communication, in terms of how long we're going to be out there on the roads, and you can still put out your regular garbage or your regular trash. And, once the winds get to 35 miles or above, we'll cease and desist all services at that point. So, but we're well aware of where it's at, and to try and make sure that we prepare everyone for, hey, if we think that's going to hit tomorrow, we're going to tell you, hey, today will be our last day picking up until further notice.
Right. And so where can residents find both preparation information, just information about Amnesty Days, and about hurricane preparation? Where can they go to find it?
They can go to WPB.org /hurricane.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so go to hurricane, WPB.org /hurricane, and you'll be able to see basically a guide of information to help you prep. Will also be a place where I would assume that once you guys say, okay, thumbs up, the winds have receded, we are going to start returning to regular service. That information will be there as well.
Yes, it will be.
Okay, fantastic. Anything that we need to cover here as far as hurricane prep? Any message that you have for residents that you need to think of?
No, I would just tell people, don't wait until June 1st to get prepared. Start right now. If you need water, I always tell people, don't go and try and buy 10 cases of water on June 1st. Go and buy a couple cases a week right now. Store it away. If you need to buy food, buy a little bit now. I understand with the cost of groceries right now, all those things are expensive and can be extremely a stressful time. So if you can do a little bit every single week to prepare for hurricane season now, you'll be in much better shape come June 1st.
Very good. Leon, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us, and thanks to all the folks over at Public Works for everything they do for the city.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining us. The City Center Podcast is a production of the City of West Palm Beach Communications Department. I'm Jerry Marcello. We'll see you next time.